Speaking repeat sentence method. Let's look at how to go about this question type. Just a quick refresher. This is what the screen looks like. At the top, you will have a player which will play the sentence that you have to repeat. And at the bottom, you will have your recorder which will record your response. You have to keep your eye on the progress bars and the timer in both these boxes. When the microphone opens, you have to start speaking immediately after that. Let's look at the method to use for this. Quite simple. This is a simple question type. The main thing is when you listen attentively and you try to understand. And then you have to maintain your focus for the entire duration because there are about 10 to 12 questions of this type that you will get in the exam. So you have to stay focused. First thing, be alert. There are a few seconds after which the audio starts playing. Just be ready to listen. Capture phrases. Don't take notes. One of the things we want you to do is don't just try to remember the words. Try to remember phrases. So 2 or 3 words in a go, different parts of the sentence that you're hearing. When you do that, it becomes easier to understand and also easier to reproduce when you are repeating the sentence. Don't take notes because these are short sentences. And if you try to take notes by hand, you'll most likely miss at least a part of the sentence that you're listening to. Notice the words that are stressed. So try to understand the way the speaker is going about, the words that the speaker is emphasizing. Because if you do that, then you can bring the same emotion. You can try to speak the same way. So notice the words that the speaker is putting emphasis on. And as soon as the microphone opens up, start speaking. There will not be a tone to indicate that the microphone has opened up. So repeat as soon as in the recording boxes, as soon as it says that the recorded microphone has opened up and the recording has started, start recording. The last thing, go to the next question immediately after completing your response. Don't wait. You have about 15 seconds to complete your response. But if you are speaking properly, you will never need that entire time. You will not need all those 15 seconds. So as soon as you have completed recording your response, you can go to the next question. Let's have a look at an example now. We'll first do the example. So I'll play the audio, you try to repeat it, then I'll show you what the transcript was so you can understand how accurately you have been able to repeat. And after that, we will look at this in a step-by-step manner. So I'll play.
To help us get our minds around this challenge, I'm going to introduce you to a great thinker.
Take a few seconds. Okay, so this sentence was...
To help us get our minds around this challenge, I'm going to introduce you to a great thinker.
To help us get our minds around this challenge, I'm going to introduce you to a great thinker. I hope you have been able to repeat all these words and in exactly the same order. If yes, then wonderful. Let's now look at the steps one by one. So the first step was be alert and ready to listen. So as soon as the question appears, there are a few seconds after which the audio will start playing. So make sure you're attentive, sit straight, make sure you're ready to listen, and then the audio plays.
To help us get our minds around this challenge, I'm going to introduce you to a great thinker.
All right. Now, as I said, our next step is capture phrases and try to understand, right? Don't take notes and don't try to remember each and every word. So when you were listening this, you should have tried to remember to help us around this challenge. Great thinker. So groups of words or phrases, not just individual words. You try to remember words one by one, it becomes difficult. But when you try to understand, okay, so this is to help us with something, to help us get, and then to help with some challenge around this challenge. How? By a great thinker. So that helps you to understand and it becomes easier to remember. And as I said, don't take notes. Then the next step is notice words that are stressed upon. In this case, the speaker put emphasis on challenge, great thinker. So those are the words that if you are listening attentively, you will notice. Okay, here the speaker is putting some force on. And Just remember that, so that when you repeat, you do the same. Next step, you have to simply repeat immediately. So you say, to help us get our minds around this challenge, I'm going to introduce you to a great thinker. And after that, you just go to the next question. That's all. Those are the simple steps, and there's no reason why you can't get full marks in repeat sentence. You need a few things. You need to practice a lot, because most of us, we are not in the habit of listening and remembering like this. We listen, we understand, but if someone says, exactly repeat what you have just now listened to, most of us will not be able to do that. So this takes a bit of practice, right? If I just ask you to describe in general what the audio was, most of you will be able to tell that this was about some challenge and a speaker helping in that. And it would be correct. But if I ask most of you to repeat, most of us will not be able to repeat it exactly. Because why? Because we're not used to that. And that's where practice is important. So practice, and then keep your focus, listen, pay attention, just follow these simple steps. And I'm 100% sure you will get full marks in this question type.